All right, here we go. It is Macbeth, the very last recording, the very, very end of the play, scenes 5, 6, 7, and maybe 8 in Act 5. We are on page 375.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls! The cry is still. They come. A castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here, let them lie, till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not reinforced with those that should be ours, we might have met them boldly, beard to beard, and beat them backward home.
So, were they not forced with those that should be ours? In other words, his army has deserted him to march with Macduff. He says, well, if they wouldn't have deserted, we would have been able to meet them man for man and win.
What is that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal story rouse and stir as life were in it. I have supped full with horrors. Direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. See,
All right, that was Macbeth saying, once upon a time, something like that would have frightened me to death, but now I have seen so many more horrors and done so many terrible things that it doesn't even bother me anymore.
wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
Lady Macbeth is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word.
And here comes a famous speech.
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Go back and look at that speech again. Starting at the bottom of page 375, Macbeth, around line 19, says, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. What is he saying about life? I'm asking you, so come up with that. He goes on to say at the very end of page 375, out, brief candle. What is he talking about there? What's the candle that's been snuffed out? Again, I'm asking you to actually answer the question. On page 376, he says, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. I think we all like to think that there will be people who remember us when we die. What is Macbeth saying when he says, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more? And then even more than that, he says around line 26, 27, it's a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. How does he feel about life? As he is enjoying his life as a king, what's he thinking his future is going to be like? These are things I want you to think about.
My lord. gracious, my lord.
You come to use your tongue, your story quickly.
I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked towards Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 miles, may you see it coming, I say, a moving grove.
All right, so now here is one of the prophecies. You'll be safe until Burnham Wood comes to Dunsinane Castle, and the servant or the messenger who is smacked across the face when Macbeth hears what he has to say, and he calls him a liar and a slave. The messenger says, I swear I saw the woods moving. Macbeth threatens him.
You speak false. Upon the next tree shall you hang alive, till famine shrink you. If your speech be truth, I care not if you do for me as much. Go. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane.
So that was a quote, fear not till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. And now a wood comes to Dunsinane, so it's time to be fearful.
And now a wood comes toward Dunsinane. Arm! Arm and out! If this which he avouches does appear, there is no flying hence, nor tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring me!
He's having some regrets, right? From all the really bad decisions he's made, and he's yelling for whoever's left of his pathetic army, most of whom have deserted him, to arm themselves and come out. So now he's coming out of the castle to fight. He says,
Alarm bell! Blow wind! Come, wreck! At least we'll die with harness on our back.
so he's saying, we're going to die with harness on our back. In other words, we are going to die in the saddle with our armor on fighting. We're not going to be...
Corey Baker to the front office. Corey Baker to the front office.
Sorry, thought we were done with those for the day. He's not going to be hiding in the castle. All right, scene 6, page 376, very short. This is outside of the castle, so now we move to the English forces who are coming to support the other side of the Scots.
Now, near enough. Your leafy screens throw down, and show like those you are. You, worthy Uncle Seward, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macduffin, we shall take upon us what else remains to do according to our order.
Very well, Malcolm. If we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Aye! Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
All right, on to scene 7. We are still out in the field. We are still watching the battle now, and Macbeth comes upon young Seward, who's the son of the English commander, Old Seward.
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear or none.
That's the second prophecy. You don't have anything to fear from a man who's born of woman.
What is your name?
You'll be afraid to hear it.
No. Though you call yourself a hotter name than any is in hell. I am my father's son, young Seward.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to my ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Oh, you lie, abhorred tyrant! With my sword, I'll prove
prove the lie you speak.
So they have a sword fight. And Seward dies.
You were born of woman. But swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by man that's of a woman born.
Here comes Macduff.
That way the noise is. Tyrant, show your face! If you be slain and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either you, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheathe again undeeded. There should you be. By this great clatter, one of greatest note seems announced. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
This way, my Lord Malcolm!
Seward?
The castle's gently surrendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes.
So he says Macbeth's people are fighting with us, and then there's a few of Macbeth's people still fighting against us.
Do bravely in the war. The day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
All right, so they take over the castle.
Why should I play the Roman?
And this is the last scene of the play, and I think you'll find it a little surprising at the very end. Here comes Macbeth.
Fool and die on my own sword. While I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
So he says, I'm not going to give up and kill myself, which is how some people did it so that they would not be taken prisoner. They would just rather kill themselves. He's like, why should I do that? Because I can kill all these people myself. They're all of woman born.
Turn, hellhound, turn.
Of all men else, I have avoided you. But get you back. My soul is too much charged with blood of yours already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword, you bloodier villain.
Page
than Turks can give you out.
379.
You lose your labor. As easily may you the entrenchant air with your keen sword impress as make me bleed. Let fall your blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Okay, so he's like, yeah, do your best, buddy. You might have nicked me a little bit, but you can't kill me because no one born of woman can kill me. And Macduff says,
Spare your charm, and let the angel whom you still have served tell you, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
oh, dang it. So, Macduff was a C-section baby. He wasn't born of the woman. He was taken out of the woman, something Macbeth had not thought of.
Accursed be the tongue that tells me so, for it has cowed my better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believed, that patter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with you.
Then yield, you coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have you as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse.
He says, I'm not going to yield to you and live under Malcolm's rule.
Though Burnham would become to Dunsinane, and you opposed, being of no woman born, yet I will try the last.
So the last one was, of course, beware Macduff. So he's like, well, okay, there were some prophecies, but maybe I can still win.
Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold, enough.
And they go fighting off stage. And here comes Malcolm, Seward, Ross, Thanes, and soldiers.
I would the friends we miss were safe arrived.
Some must go off, and yet by these I see so great a day as this. It's cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing. And your noble son.
Your son, my Lord Seward, has paid a soldier's debt. He only lived until he was a man.
So, the son was really young. In other words, he has just started to grow facial hair. He was so young and he died.
The which no sooner had his prowess confirmed in the unshrinking station where he fought, but like a man, he died.
Then he is dead.
Aye, and brought off the field.
Page
Your
380.
cause of sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for then it has no end.
Had he his hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
Why then, God's soldier be he. Had I as many sons as I have hairs, I would not wish them to a fairer death. And so his knell is known.
So Seward's like, well, that's sure a bummer, but it's a good way to die.
He's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for
Is
it.
worth no more. They say he bartered well and paid a score, and so God be with him. Here comes newer comfort.
That's really kind of cold, right? Malcolm's like, well, if you can't grieve him, I will. And Seward's like, no, because he did what he was supposed to. He died in battle like a man. He turns around and he sees Macduff entering with Macbeth's head. He says, here comes newer comfort, right? Because now we know Macbeth is dead.
Hail, King Malcolm, for so you are. Behold, where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see you compassed with your kingdom's pearls, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large, expensive time before we reckon with your several loves, and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named.
We thank you, Majesty.
What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, is calling home our exiled friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny. Producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace we will perform in measure, time, and place.
So they say, Macbeth is dead, and also Lady Macbeth killed herself, right? By self and violent hands took off her life.
So thanks to all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
And that is the end. And wasn't it good? Squee! It was really good. It's, I think, one of the better stories, at least. We kind of feel sad for Macbeth, but also we think, well, he kind of deserved it.